everyone, it's JediManda here, and I'm going to show you what's currently on my work desk. I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and videos all the time, and people are like doing videos of what's in my bag or what's on my vanity desk for makeup. And you know what? Cosplayers do a lot of stuff on desks, and why not show mine what I'm doing right now? Because crap, there's a lot of stuff on my desk, as you can see. So I'm going to break down a few products that I really enjoy using in my cosplay crafting and just general hobby or life stuff, paints, latex, even the tea I drink. So here we go. And so some of the brush tips you see right here are the round tip brush end, also known as a cat tail. I think I have one in there. I have a lot of flat tipped flat brush ends, which are very, very handy for very fine lines on a lot of cosplay painting. Another one of my favorites is the fan brush. It does a lot of really good weathering techniques if you guys like to weather your armor. I do. It's a very easy brush to use and wash. Very fine tipped and small tipped brushes are very handy for even tiny, tiny, tiny details within your cosplay painting on armor especially. Next is my palette that I use. I use this palette often, and I use mostly acrylics, which I'll talk about here coming up. But it's a really small palette. It's an easy palette to wash out, easy palette to take around with you, and I always cover it in aluminum foil if you're trying to save the colors, and that's just a little interesting tidbit here and there. The next thing I have for you are some acrylic color brands that I really like to use. These are Liquitex acrylic colors in Basics, which is a very the cheaper version of Liquitex acrylics. If anybody is a painter, you all might understand the love of Liquitex paints. They are very pigmented for the price that you get. There are several different versions of Liquitex color grades that you can get. This one is the Basics brand, and like I said, it's the most cheap, so it's not as pigmented and opaque as some of them, but they are. The white is eventually a pretty good pigmented color. But if you would like a more pigmented and more professional grade paint, this one actually is the brand that you would go to, well, the brand style that you would go to. It's the Liquitex, and it's the professional acrylic heavy artist color heavy body. Now this is really thick, and I really truly love this paint. I get it for the primary colors, as in the Mars Blacks and the Titanium Whites and some other colors that I use often, because it is just super thick and is not opaque at all, or I'm sorry, translucent. So it works really well on Worbla, especially primed Worbla surfaces and EVA surfaces. Some other acrylic brands that I use are Golden, Folk Art, and the Winsor Newton Galleria collection. All three of them have different qualities. I prefer the Golden and the Liquitex more than the Folk Art, the Galleria. The Folk Art is your very cheap craft brand paints. They are thin and very runny. That's why they're in bottles and not tubes. They are good for coating very big surfaces because you need a lot for the bang that you get. So they are pretty cheap, and there's a lot of different colors and finishes. So I do usually go for like the metallics or the shimmers or anything with an additive texture or layer base that I can't get with the other ones. So Folk Art is good, it's just really translucent sometimes, but it's fun to have all the different versions of it. The Golden brand is actually my favorite with the Liquitex of acrylic brands. It's very pigmented, it's very thick. You can get all kinds of different colors. Of course, these are some free ones that I get. I used to go to art school. I went through art school for 6 years, so I got a lot of different freebie paints from all kinds of cool art supply stores. This one is a very thick base. It's hard to tell in there, it's kind of dark, but the Golden is another really good brand to use. It's also a little more pricey, but if you're doing a lot of painting, especially cosplay acrylic armor painting, the Golden and the Liquitex brands are what I would stick with. The Galleria brand is also really good. It's just older. It's kind of in the middle of the Folk Art Liquitex brands. A lot of it can be translucent and can be thick and opaque depending on which color you're getting. But I do have a lot of these left over, and you can get them in really big tubes, and usually they're pretty on sale. A big ball jar for water purposes and brushing out your brushes. This is a very key thing to have when you're doing a lot of painting. As you can see, I've done a lot of painting over the years. This is actually my favorite glue gun. It's called Super Bonder, and it's a wireless glue gun. I love this thing. It is great. It has an on and off switch and a port that you basically have to put on to recharge it all the time. So you can actually just leave it off the charger and it can still stay hot for whenever you're working on stuff, but just be careful because it does cool, and so you do need to put it back to its charger every once in a while using it. It's a great glue gun. A lot of mixed feelings about it online, but you know what? It's done so good for me so far. I've had it for about a year, and it does use the big, thick, regular size hot glue sticks and not the mini ones. So this is a great glue gun. It does get very hot. It doesn't have a cool or hot temperature gauge like some glue guns do. So just a fair warning on that, but I do love the Super Bonder. Or the Sure Bonder, excuse me, Sure Bonder. We can talk about my scissors. These are my, an example of small scissors from Gingher that I have that are my fabric scissors, as noted by the ribbon that I do not use to cut cardboard or foam or any other things. These are my craft scissors. These do not cut fabric because they are dull. If you are a cosplayer, you know the benefits of fabric versus craft scissors. There are reasons to have different ones. The blades get duller, guys, and cutting fabric with dull blades is just no fun. So please, if you do a lot of cosplay or sewing and crafting in general, have a differentiation between your scissors, and its easiest way to do that is to tie a little piece of ribbon or fabric around the scissors that you want to keep fabric, and have the ones that you don't want to keep fabric without tie. It's easy to do, and it's really, really handy. Another thing on my work desk is my tea that I always have with me. I'm a very big tea drinker, so I always have some sort of tea. Right now it's a Genmaicha, which is a green tea in a awesome Star Wars themed Death Star tea strainer with a little TIE fighter on the end that I personally love because isn't everyone in the Star Wars mood right now? On my wonderful Jack Skellington mug that I don't really know where I got it, but I'm thinking Disney World or Hot Topic? I don't really know. But staying hydrated while you craft, especially for long days like this one I've done today, is very key. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and I'll see you guys later.